did let. So I went to Lagos. My grandma said, "So without saying goodbye, my brother." The way she said it, something inside me said, "This is not ordinary goodbye." But me, I was stubborn. I said, "I'll do when I reach." I started walking to the main road to take a bus. Everything was normal until I reached the junction, same place, 3 times. I said, "Aha, am I mad?" I even asked one small boy, "Where is the main road?" He pointed straight. I walked 5 minutes later. I'm back at my grandma's compound. At this point, my legs went cold. I entered the house slowly. My grandma was sitting there, smiling like she already knew. She said, "I told you, you don't just leave like that." I said, "Grandma, please, what is going on?" She now called one old man. That man looked like he has been alive since before Nigeria got independence. He didn't even greet me. He just said, "You went to the river, you didn't greet. And when they followed you, you ran." I said, "Yes, because I want to live." He said, "They don't like being ignored." They carried me to the river. My people brought it all, but the place suddenly became cold. No wind, no sound, just silence. The old man told me, "Kneel." I knelt immediately. Knelt, no argument. He said I should say, "I'm sorry for passing without greeting. I mean no disrespect." I said it. Nothing happened. Then suddenly, tap, tap, tap. The same sound from my window the night before. But this time, from the water. I didn't even look. I just started crying. The old man shouted, "Don't look at the water." I froze. Then the tapping stopped. Everything went back to normal. Birds started singing again like nothing happened. The old man said, "Now you can go." My brother, I did not walk home. I ran, packed my bag again, reached the main road. This time, no confusion. I entered the first bus I saw. As the bus was leaving the village, I looked back small. Big mistake, because I saw someone standing near the river waving at me. So, part three, you said goodbye, but not to me. So after the river incident, I did everything they did to me. I apologized, I greeted, I even said goodbye properly before leaving the village. This time, no turning back, no confusion. I reached Lagos safely. I was even feeling proud, like, "See me, I handled village matter like a pro." That night, I slept peacefully until 3:03 a.m. tap tap. 3 a.m. TAP. My eyes snapped open. I said, "No, this can't be happening again," because this time I did everything right. I slowly sat up. The sound came again. Tap, tap, tap. Same rhythm, same patience. Then I remembered I said goodbye to my grandma, to the old man, even to the river. So why is this happening? I stood up shaking and moved toward the window. As I got close, the tapping stopped. Silence. Then that voice came again, but this time clearer, closer, right behind the window. "You said goodbye to them." My blood ran cold. Then it whispered, "But you didn't say goodbye to me." My body locked. Because I suddenly remembered when we were at the river, the old man told me, "Don't look at the water." And I didn't, not even once. So whatever was in that water, I never saw it. I never acknowledged it. I never greeted it. I never said goodbye to it. And now it followed me. The window started shaking slightly. Not loud, just enough to let me know it was still there, waiting, patient, like it has all the time in the world. I didn't open the window, I didn't move. I just sat there till morning. When the sun came out, I forced myself to check. No scratches this time. Nothing. Clean. Like nothing ever touched it. But as I turned to go back, I saw something that made me wish for the scratches instead. On my mirror, written from the inside, clear as day. "Next time, look at me." Story time part 3. You said goodbye, but not to me. So after the river incident, I did everything they told me. I apologized, I greeted, I even said goodbye properly before leaving the village. This time, no turning back, no confusion. I reached Lagos safely. I was even feeling proud, like, "See me, I handled village matter like a pro." That night, I slept peacefully until 3:03 a.m. tap tap. 3 a.m. TAP. My eyes snapped open. I said, "No, this can't be happening again," because this time I did everything right. I slowly sat up. The sound came again. Tap, tap, tap. Same rhythm, same patience. Then I remembered I said goodbye to my grandma, to the old man, even to the river. So why is this happening? I stood up shaking and moved toward the window. As I got close, the tapping stopped. Silence. Then that voice came again, but this time clearer, closer, right behind the window. You said goodbye to them. My blood ran cold. Then it whispered, but you didn't say goodbye to me. My body locked. Because I suddenly remembered when we were at the river, the old man told me, don't look at the water. And I didn't, not even once. So whatever was in that water, I never saw it. I never acknowledged it. I never greeted it. I never said goodbye to it. And now it followed me. The window started shaking slightly. Not loud, just enough to let me know it was still there, waiting, patient, like it has all the time in the world. I didn't open that window. I didn't move. I just sat there till morning. When the sun came out, I forced myself to check. No scratches this time. Nothing. Clean. Like nothing ever touched it. But as I turned to go back, I saw something that made me wish for the scratches instead. On my mirror. Written from the inside. Clear as day. Next time, look at me. After that night, things changed. My mirror would show things that weren't me. Sometimes I'd be moving, but my reflection wasn't. Sometimes it smiled before I did. I broke the mirror, called a pastor, prayed, fasted. That night, I finally slept. Then I woke up and I couldn't move. Something was in my room, standing beside my bed, tall, wet, like it came out of water. Then it bent down close to my face and whispered, you were told to look at me. I didn't want to, but I had no choice. So I looked, and suddenly I wasn't in my room anymore. I was back at the river, standing there in the dark. Then I saw someone. It was me, holding my suitcase, the same way I left the village. Then that version of me turned, smiled, and waved. That's when I understood. I didn't escape. I never left. Something I've been here ever since, waiting for the next one who forgets to greet. So if you go to the village and you make sure you greet. Room that was already occupied. When I first moved to Lagos, I rented a cheap room and I thought I was lucky. I wasn't. I was broke, like properly broke. So when I saw the price, I didn't ask questions. The landlord just looked at me and said, if you like it, pay and pack in. I should have asked more questions. The room looked normal, small, quiet, nothing special, except there was already a mattress inside, old but clean. I asked the landlord, should I remove it? He said, no, leave it. I said, okay. Free bed. First night, nothing happened. Second night, I heard something like someone turning on the mattress. I told myself, rats. Third night, I heard breathing. Not loud, just someone breathing slowly from inside the room. I stood up immediately, checked everywhere, under the bed, behind the door, bathroom, nothing. But the moment I lay down again, the breathing continued right beside me. That was when I stopped sleeping on the mattress. I moved to the floor. Next day, I told the landlord. He looked at me and said, you're hearing it already? I said, what do you mean already? He didn't answer. He just said, you'll get used to it. That night, I didn't sleep. I stayed awake watching. Around 2 a.m., the mattress moved. Not small, it sank, like someone just sat on it, but nobody was there. Then slowly, I saw the shape, like an invisible body pressing it down. My whole body went cold. Then the mattress shifted, like it was making space. For me, I didn't move. I couldn't move. Then I heard it right in my ear. Lie down. I ran. I didn't carry anything. I didn't lock the door. I just ran. Next morning, I came back with my friend, and that's when the landlord told me the truth. The last tenant died in that room, on that same mattress. They said he used to complain that something sleeps beside him every night. I packed my things and left immediately. But till today, sometimes when I lie down to sleep, I still feel it. That small space beside me, like someone is saving it, waiting. Hi guys, thanks for your comment and follow. This is part 2. So I thought it ended when I left that room. I was wrong. The new apartment was better, cleaner, brighter, no old mattress. Everything felt normal again. For the first 2 nights, I slept well. No sounds, no breathing, nothing. I even started laughing at myself, saying maybe I overreacted. Maybe it was just stress. Then on the third night, I woke up suddenly. No noise, no dream, just awake and uncomfortable, like something wasn't right. I turned slowly and looked at the empty space beside me, the same space I always leave when I sleep. And that's when I saw it. The bed sheet was pressed down like someone was lying there, right next to me, facing me. My heart started beating fast. I told myself, don't move, don't react. Maybe it will go away. Then the bed sheet shifted slightly, like whatever was there was adjusting, getting comfortable. I closed my eyes immediately, pretending to sleep. Then I felt it. So careful to face me. My whole body went stiff. Then I felt warm air on my face, someone breathing very close. I couldn't take it anymore. I opened my eyes, nothing. The bed was flat again, empty, silent. I jumped up, turned on the light, checked everything, nothing. But I didn't sleep again that night. Morning came and I tried to act normal, but that night it came back. Same time, same feeling, but this time I didn't wait. I stayed awake, watching, and slowly the bed sheet went down again, clear, like a body lying beside me. Then I heard it, soft, familiar, the same voice from that room right beside me. You left without me. My chest tightened because I realized something. That mattress, it wasn't the problem, it was just where it stayed, and now it knows where I stay. Final part, guys. Thanks for the likes and comments. So after that night, I stopped pretending. I knew it was real. And worse, I knew it wasn't leaving. I tried everything, prayers, fasting, sleeping with the light on. Nothing worked because it didn't care. It still came every night, same time, same space beside me. But this time, it wasn't just lying there. It started moving closer, little by little, each night, closing the gap until one night, there was no space left. I woke up and I couldn't move. My body was frozen, but my eyes were open. And this time, it wasn't beside me. It was on top of me, pressing me down, heavy, cold, and wet, like something that didn't belong in this world. I tried to scream. Nothing came out. Then slowly, very slowly, I saw it. Not clearly, but enough. A face forming right above mine, distorted, like it was trying to look human, but couldn't get it right. Then it smiled and whispered, I made space for you too. My chest tightened because suddenly I understood that space beside me, it was never for comfort. It was never empty. It was preparing, saving a place for me. Then everything went dark. No sound, no movement, nothing. I woke up the next morning on the floor, not on my bed. My mattress was empty, perfectly smooth, untouched, like nobody had slept on it ever. I stood there staring at it. Then slowly I noticed something. The sheet had a shape, not beside me this time, not on top of me, but in the middle, like someone was already waiting, still patient. And as I watched, it shifted slightly, making space. Final line, whisper. So if you ever feel that empty space beside you at night, don't ignore it, because it might not be empty. It might just be waiting for you to lie down. Final part, guys. Thanks for the likes and comments. So after that night, I stopped pretending. I knew it was real. And worse, I knew it wasn't leaving. I tried everything, prayers, fasting, sleeping with the light on, nothing worked, because I didn't care. It still came same time, same space beside me. But this it was there. It's moving close. I tried to nothing came out. Waiting, still patient, and as I watched, it shifted slightly, making space. Final line, whisper. So if you ever feel empty beside you, don't ignore it, because it might not be empty. It might just be waiting for you to lie down. Final part, guys. Thanks for the likes and comments. So after that night, I stopped pretending. I knew it was real. And worse, I knew it wasn't leaving. I tried everything, prayers, fasting, sleeping with the light on. Nothing worked because it didn't care. It still came every night, same time, same space beside me. But this time, it wasn't just lying there. It started moving closer, little by little, each night, closing the gap until one night, there was no space left. I woke up and I couldn't move. My body was frozen, but my eyes were open. And this time, it wasn't beside me. It was on top of me, pressing me down, heavy, cold, and wet, like something that didn't belong in it. I came out. Then slowly, very slowly, I saw it, not clearly, but enough. A face forming right above mine, distorted, like it was trying to be human, but couldn't get it right. Then it smiled and whispered, "I made space for you too." My chest tightened because suddenly I understood that space beside me, it was never for comfort, it was never empty, it was preparing, saving a place for me. Then nothing went, no sound, no movement. I woke up the next morning on the floor of my bed. My mattress was empty, perfectly smooth starter pack. The apartment itself was actually nice. Old building, exposed brick walls, wooden floors that creaked like they were carrying secrets from the 1940s. But the rent was insanely cheap for downtown Chicago. That should have been my first warning. My roommate was this guy named Marcus, late 20s, quiet, worked night shifts as a security guard. He seemed normal at first, maybe a little awkward, but normal enough. When I moved in, he helped carry my boxes upstairs, offered me a beer, and gave me exactly one rule. He looked dead serious and said, "After midnight, don't open my bedroom door, no matter what you hear." And I laughed. Because what kind of weird Netflix warning is that? I thought maybe he had a girlfriend sometimes, or maybe he sleepwalked naked or something. I didn't really care. Cheap rent is cheap rent. First 2 weeks were fine. Then the noises started. Every night around 12:30 a.m., I'd hear scratching coming from his room. Not loud scratching, soft scratching, like fingernails. Slowly dragging across wood. Sometimes I hear whispering too. At first I thought Marcus talked in his sleep. But one night I realized something weird. The whispering sounded like multiple people, not good enough to understand words. Just layers of whispers stacked on top of each other like a broken radio station. I asked him about it one morning while we were making coffee. He froze. Not nervous, not embarrassed, scared. He looked at me and said, "You heard them." Word hit me weird. Them? Not it. Not me talking. Them. Then he just shook his head and left for work. After that, things got worse. I started noticing scratches on the hallway floor leading from his bedroom to the bathroom. Thin marks, like something sharp had been dragged across the wood. And the apartment started smelling wrong after midnight. Not rotten exactly, just damp, like wet basement air mixed with old pennies. One Friday night, Marcus left for work earlier than usual, around 10 p.m. Before leaving, he stopped at the door and said, "Whatever happens tonight, don't open my room." Bro. The way he said it made my stomach drop. Around midnight, the scratching started again. Then came the whispers. Except this time, they were louder. I could almost make out words. It sounded like people arguing. Then I heard Marcus' voice from inside the room. "Please stay inside." I froze because Marcus was supposed to be at work. I literally checked my phone to make sure I wasn't losing my mind. He had texted me an hour earlier saying his shift started. Then came 3 slow knocks from inside his bedroom door. Knock, knock, knock. And this voice whispered, "Can you let me out?" Not Marcus. Close to Marcus. But wrong. Like somebody trying to copy his voice after hearing it only once. Every instinct in my body said, "Don't move." But curiosity is a dangerous little parasite. So I walked to the hallway. The apartment suddenly felt freezing cold. The whispers stopped the second I stood outside his door. Then silence. Complete silence. I remember staring at the doorknob thinking, this is stupid. This is literally stupid. Then something scratched the other side of the door. Slowly. Very slowly, like it knew I was there. And then I heard this tiny voice right next to the door. "He lied to you. I should have walked away. Instead, I opened it. The room was dark except for this tiny lamp in the corner. Marcus wasn't there, but somebody else was. There was a man sitting on the floor facing the wall. His back looked twisted somehow, like his spine bent too far forward. And he was whispering to himself. I remember saying, "Marcus?" The thing stopped whispering, slowly turned its head, and I swear to God, its face looked almost exactly like Marcus, except the smile stretched way too wide, like someone carved it bigger. Its eyes were completely black, not dark brown. Black. Then it stood up. Its arms unfolded lower and lower until its fingertips touched the floor, and it said in Marcus's voice, "You weren't supposed to open the door." I slammed it shut so hard the entire wall shook. Immediately, the scratching exploded against the other side. Not human scratching, violent, animalistic. The door started rattling like something huge was throwing itself against it. I backed away so fast I fell in the hallway. Then suddenly, silence. A few seconds later, I heard my apartment door unlock. Marcus walked in, still in his security uniform. Floor, I immediately looked toward his bedroom. Coloring from it and grabbed from it and started pouring lines of the hallway like a window. And standing behind the curtains, Marcus, smiling. But then my phone rang. It was from upstairs, the real Marcos. That was the last thing I needed. I got in my car and drove. I never went back. Not for my clothes, not for my laptop, nothing. A week later, I checked online and found out the apartment building burned down the same night. Electrical fire, apparently. No survivors found in Unit 4B. Sometimes I still think about that last thing Marcus said before I ran. Right before he slammed the apartment door shut behind me. The automatic doors would just slide open at 3:13 exactly. And there he was. One night I joked about it with another cocker named Luis. I said, bro, if this guy lives in the desert like a vampire or he teleports here. Luis stopped stocking shelves and slowly looked at me. Grey suit? I laughed. Yeah. Luis immediately got serious. Then he said something that made my skin crawl. Don't talk to him longer than necessary. That was it. No explanation, just that. And before I could change the subject completely, that I had to slightly without making the entire empty highway, no car, no footprints, nothing. The next night I almost called in sick, but rent exists, so there I was again behind, pretending everything was fine. At exactly 13 a.m., the doors opened, except this time he wasn't alone. There was a woman standing beside him, tall, thin, wearing this old red dress like she walked straight out of the 1960s. And her face burned, not bloody, not graphic, just blackened and cracked like charcoal. She was smiling. The man laid the usual item on the counter, then added a fourth thing, a photo. He slid it to me slowly. I looked down and it was a picture of a gas station, except the station maniac. 30 seconds later, the gas station exploded behind me. The blast knocked me face first into the sand. When police arrived, they said a gas leak caused it. But here's the part that still destroys me. The security footage survived. And according to the cops, I was alone in the store the entire night, talking to somebody, adding items to empty air. But every night since then, at exactly 3:13 a.m., I get this strange smell of gasoline and cigarette smoke. And sometimes from the sound of automatic doors opening somewhere in the house. Driving. At first I figured maybe he was tired. Then I noticed he wasn't following the GPS route. Now, before anybody said maybe traffic or roadblocks, this dude turned completely away from town and headed to these industrial roads with abandoned warehouses everywhere. So I leaned forward and said, I think you missed the exit. And that's when he spoke for the first time, calmly, almost casually. He asked, do you ever wonder how many people nobody would notice missing? Bro, I laughed because my brain genuinely didn't know how else to react. I said, what? He repeated it, same exact tone. How? The kind of smile people make when they already decided something terrible. Then he asked, did you tell anyone where you were going tonight? I started yelling at him. He ignored me. Then his screen turned black. One sentence appeared on it in white letters. Final destination update. At that point, I genuinely thought I was about to die. I started kicking the back of his seat, screaming, trying the windows. Nothing worked. Then suddenly, the car slowed down near this huge abandoned warehouse, and I saw another car parked outside. Its headlights were on, driver door open, like somebody was waiting. Daniel finally spoke again, quietly. Wrong passenger. That sentence hit me like ice water. Wrong passenger. Before I could even process it, he unlocked the doors. I didn't wait. I threw myself out of the car while it was still rolling and hit the pavement hard enough to scrape both hands open. I ran. Didn't look back. Didn't stop. I just sprinted toward the nearest gas station about half a mile away. When I finally got inside, the cashier looked horrified. Apparently, I had blood all over my hoodie from falling onto the road. I called the police immediately, and here's the part that still messes me up. The license plate from the app didn't exist, neither did the driver photo. The account vanished completely. Police checked nearby traffic cameras and only found one clip of the car. And according to the officer, there was nobody sitting in the passenger seat. They asked me 3 times if I was drunk or hallucinating. But I know what happened, because 2 days later, I got an email from Uber support. No apology, no explanation, just one sentence. We're sorry your ride didn't meet expectations. Feedback that said passenger noticed too much. My neighbor kept bringing flashbacks into his basement. Then I heard crying through the wall. It's been a while, guys. So this happened when I was living in duplex South Philadelphia around winter of 2022. The place was cheap, old, and separated into 2 units by one thin wall that apparently had the soundproofing quality of wet cardboard. On the other side lived this guy named Walter, probably late 50s, quiet, always wore the same brown jacket no matter the weather, and I swear I never once saw him smile. At first he seemed harmless. We'd nod at each other occasionally, small talk about snowstorms, parking spots, normal neighbor stuff. But then I started noticing the trash bags. Every Thursday night around midnight, Walter would back his old van into the driveway and carry garbage bags into the basement, not out of the basement, into it. And these bags looked heavy. I called my friend Marcus and told him everything. Instead of calming me down like a normal person, this idiot says, "Bro, you're living next to a serial killer." Thanks, Marcus. Very helpful. But the more I thought about it, the more things stopped making sense. Walter never had visitors, never got deliveries, never seemed to leave except late at night. And every Thursday, more bags. Then came the snowstorm, huge blizzard, road shut down, power flickering. Around midnight, I heard Walter outside dragging something across the driveway, not carrying, dragging. I looked through my blinds and saw him pulling one. "You heard crying?" I said yes. Then his face changed instantly. He asked me, "How often?" I told him the office is genuinely disturbed. Then he said something that still messes with me. "That basement's been sealed for 14 years. What? Apparently, Walter's basement had collapsed years earlier in a flood. Concrete poured over the entire staircase. No access, no basement door anymore. I literally argued with him. I said I saw Walter going down there. The officer walked me outside. And sure enough, there was no basement entrance, just solid concrete covered in snow. No door, no stairs, nothing. I felt sick instantly. Then they showed me what they actually found inside the house. Walter had died 3 days earlier. Heart attack. His body was discovered sitting in a chair facing the wall we shared. 3 days. Meaning every sound I heard after that wasn't him. I moved out the same week. Didn't even finish packing. But here's the worst part. A month later, I got a package with no return address. Inside was an old cassette tape, written on it in faded marker, "From the basement." I never listened to it, at least not until last week. And now I understand why Walter kept carrying bags downstairs every Thursday, because the tape only contains one sound: children crying, and Walter whispering over and over, "Stay asleep, stay asleep, stay asleep."